Okay. But she got some health issues. But Yvonne tried to say, we didn't know, she's saying that they were purchased. But the daughter said that we're going to try to But Yvonne said she's going to my staff is going to okay. And they're going to set up with payment plan. Right. So she's 39. Right. So that's a good thing. So she'll know that. Cool. Her? Oh. Audrey. Good morning. Is this on? Good morning. The July the 1st, 2015 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. In the interest of promoting the order and efficiencies of these hearings, persons who are disruptive to the hearing will be asked to leave the hearing room immediately. Madam Controller, are there any corrections, additions, or deferrals on the agenda?
Yes. First, I'd like to note that Bernice Harriet Taylor, Deputy Controller, will be absent. Rudy Chow will be absent, and Dale Thompson will vote and act on his behalf. I have protests from Mrs. Kim Trueheart on page 10, items 5 and 6, page 26, pages 1 through 78, all items. The Board of Estimates received and reviewed Ms. Trueheart's protests, as Ms. Trueheart does not have a specific interest that is different from that of the general public. The Board will not hear her protest. Her correspondence has been sent to the appropriate agency and/or committee, which will respond directly to Ms. Trueheart. In addition, we have a protest from Ms. Christina Flowers on page 10, item 5 and 6. And also, the Board of Estimates received and reviewed Ms. Flowers' protest. As Ms. Flowers does not have a specific interest that is different than that of the general public, the Board will not hear her protest. Her correspondence has been sent to the appropriate agency and/or committee, which will respond directly to Ms. Flowers. I would like to know that the Honorable Mayor will abstain on page 44 and page 50. The Honorable President will abstain on pages 26, 34, item 1, and page 41. In addition, the Honorable President will vote no on pages 24 to 25, pages 45 through 46, and pages 76 through 77. The Honorable Comptroller will abstain on pages 6 through 7. I'd also like to note that page 10, item 5 and 6 will be deferred for 2 weeks. And the Board is scheduled to be in recess at 9 a.m. and 12 noon on July the 8th, 2015. The Board of Estimates will not receive or open bids on July the 8th, 2015. The Board of Estimates will reconvene on July the 15th, 2015. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. I will direct the board members' attention to the memorandum from my office dated June the 29th, 2015, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items together with any correction and addition that have been noted by the controller. I will entertain a motion to approve all of the items contained on the routine agenda.
Move approval of all items on the routine agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carried. The routine agenda has been adopted. The first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 37 to 39, items 1 to 3, and item 7. Recommendation for contract award rejection, Bureau of Purchasing. Management of parking garages, group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Will the parties please come forward?
Tim Cross, City Purchasing Agent. This is a recommendation of award of 4 groups of parking garages for their management. Group 1 is awarded to Republic Parking Systems. Management of parking garages for Group 2, also awarded to Republic Parking Systems. Management of parking garages Group 3, awarded to Republic Parking Systems. And management of parking garages Group 4, awarded to Imperial Parking, doing business as Impark.
Good morning, Mr. President, Board. My name is Elliot Schaefer with the Law Office of Alexander and Cleaver, representing PMS Parking. With me today is Ms. Gelatu, who's the President and CEO of PMS Parking Incorporated. And we are here to protest the award, the recommendation of the award for the aforementioned groups 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the respective vendors. Now, the basis for our protest is the entire solicitation process is flawed. There was ambiguity contained in the solicitation, which caused a fundamental flaw, which requires the solicitation to be thrown out and rebid. Now, first and foremost, there is an ambiguity in the terms of the solicitation. Now, part of the solicitation, it indicates that only a vendor is only entitled to a base management fee, yet on page 17, there's also a reference to an incentive fee and a situation where a vendor is entitled, or the contractor is entitled to an incentive fee. Now, this creates an ambiguity because there's a reference to 2 types of fees which a contractor is entitled to, yet there was no place for a vendor to propose an incentive fee or indicate any type of incentives that they could propose to the city. Combined with the past history of parking management solicitations, it creates even more ambiguity. In 2008 and 2010, 2 previous solicitations for parking management services, it expressly included incentive fees. Now, there's a 2013 solicitation which expressly excluded incentive fees. Now, based on the strict terms of this solicitation, there was uncertainty as to how a vendor could or should propose their finances for the management services. So it creates an inherent conflict on what was proposed, what was evaluated, and the solicitation is required to be thrown out. Any evaluation would be arbitrary and capricious by the purchasing office because of this flaw. Secondary, in each of the 4 categories, there were negative bids. In other words, the vendor is paying the city to manage the parking facilities. Now, in the private sector, there's no way that a company would accept a proposal like this. It opens the possibility of many unintended consequences, potential for change orders, increasing the cost to the city. In 2011, the executive director for the Parking Authority, when a contract was awarded, which wasn't to the lowest bidder for the parking management services, mentioned that customer service and planning were important factors when awarding the contract. Those weren't taken into consideration in this situation. It was looked strictly at the negative bid, the lowest bid, the low bids, the negative bids, create potential customer service issues, planning issues, and the things that the Parking Authority highlighted in 2011 will all be at issue, will all be in jeopardy. Furthermore, it creates the incentive or the opportunity to misrepresent operating expenses, reimbursable operating expenses. Now, one of the vendors, Republic Parking, there was a situation where they were audited in Oklahoma City where they misrepresented during a fiscal year $12,000 in misrepresented operating expenses that were reimbursed to them. In addition, an employee of Republic Parking stole $420,000 of parking revenue from Oklahoma City. Now, that was over 3 years, so it wasn't 420 in 1 year, but $420,000 over the course of the contract. So clearly, there was an investigation into the qualifications or the ability, the competency of the vendors to provide the services. The Oklahoma City situation is clearly a concern of revenues being withheld from the city. Furthermore, if the city is concerned with making money, generating additional revenue, because that's the only reason I could see where a negative bid would be accepted, the current vendor, PMS Parking Incorporated, proposed on numerous occasions additional ways to generate generate revenue from the city, from potentially advertising to renting out the space for private events, increasing, they did proprietary studies on the rates for the various parking garages, yet still be below market rate. So there are other opportunities for the city to generate revenue as opposed to just accepting a negative bid. Based on that, we feel that the solicitation is fundamentally flawed due to the ambiguity, due to the negative bid, the concerns with the negative bids. We would ask that the solicitation be thrown out and rebid, and we'd ask that the current vendors stay in place for 1 year. I'm going to turn it over to one moment for Ms. Gelato just to talk about parking management in general.
Well, I have one thing to say. I'm just concerned about what this is doing to the minority contractors in the city of Baltimore. That's my only concern. And before she speaks, just for the record, I want the parking authority to address a few of the questions that I have. And let's have the parking authority pursued negative bids before, and if not, how did this idea originate?
Council President, Pete Little, Executive Director with the Parking Authority of Baltimore City. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we did put the garage management contracts, a number of them, out to request for bids using the process that we've done through the city's Bureau of Purchases here ourselves at the Parking Authority. And in fact, we received very low bids on these garages. And there are a number of reasons why operators would provide either a very low or even a negative bid on these contracts. And the operators would have to speak for themselves, but some of the reasons that I know of are, number one, so that they could develop a presence here within the city, and that's whether it's a local business or a national business that wants to establish themselves here in the city. And this is a way to do that, and also to get their name on some of the best parking facilities here in the city through the efforts of the Parking Authority. These 17 city-owned garages are now some of the best in the city. And these operators, just like M&T Bank wants to get their name on Ravens Stadium, these operators want to be associated with our facilities as well, too. Another reason is that through these contracts, it's mandated that the operators pay personnel the city's living wage, which I think as of today is $11.46 an hour, significantly above the federal minimum wage as well, too. And so they can hire highly qualified employees to work at these facilities and therefore build a base of very strong employees in the city through our contracts. And the other part of it is the expectations of the operators are very limited in terms of what our expectations are. The Parking Authority does all of the monthly contract administration at the garages. We renegotiate and negotiate all of the monthly contracts at these facilities. We market the facilities. We establish the parking rates at the facilities. We oversee the structural and systems repairs at the cities. And so, at the end of the day, it is a relatively simple job for the operators. And so it didn't surprise us then that we would get some negative bids at these facilities.
Okay, but this structure that you have in place, where you're taking away the fees that you want to pay the small companies, it looked like it just unduly, you damage the small business. And what we're trying to do is grow small business, but this seems to unfairly target our small businesses in the city of Baltimore. And just for a few $1,000s that we're going to gain, we're displacing some of our small businesses. And in the city of Baltimore, that's why we have our MBE and WBE, and we're letting these big conglomerates come in that could offer all this free stuff. And, because what they really want to do is they want to say, we won't take no management fees, and on the back end, they'll give you these cost overruns for whatever they send in, like you said, snow removal, they'll front load that. And They just want to come in and take over all of the garages, which would push all of our small businesses out. I just wanted to just put that out there, because I think it's doing a great harm to our small businesses. Now, you would.
Yeah, and
Unless you want to say something.
But, yeah, if I could respond to, in particular, that assertion that operators can come in and overcharge us for items that are provided or services provided at the garages. That can't happen at our garages.
They do it all the time.
The parking authority establishes the budgets for these
They
facilities.
do it all the time. We
Well,
see
is-
it all the time.
Is that, can I just ask?
Go ahead, we see it all
Is
the
it that
time.
you said, I misunderstood what you said. It was my understanding that you said that basically the larger companies, because of their scale, can propose to undercharge for things that smaller local businesses cannot.
Absolutely.
And basically they're
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The board is now in session for receiving and opening bids. No addenda were received. Are we doing one yet? I thought we were doing one already. This is? Hmm? Department Bureau Purchases Proposal for B50004117, conversion of microfilm and microfiche to digital format. Yes, you want to come up? Good, state your name.
June Smith, and this is my associate. Media System Resources.
Can you talk into the mic?
Hopefully, we didn't make a terrible mistake, but I think we did at least make some mistake in delivering our proposal. We were working from the proposal cover sheet, and it had 231 East Baltimore Street on it. And what we did was we went down there, we got there 12 minutes to 11, and the lady to whom the proposal was addressed came out and said, it doesn't go here, you've got 8 minutes to go to the city hall. So we raced over here, only to find out that it needed to be sealed. So I left, Adrian stayed here with the proposal. And, I did call my attorney because we had put so much effort into creating the document to Shield and ask him, how should we proceed? We didn't want our work to just go down the tubes. So I went and found a box, came back, and when Adrian got here, I think it was 6 or 7 minutes, and we sped over here and raced in the door, and then he told us we had it sealed. So I went and found a box and brought it back and put the proposals in it and sealed it. And by then it was a couple minutes after 11. So we're asking for mercy. We took it to where it's set on the cover sheet, which, I can show you on our document.
he gave us this one, I don't know what he did. He's going to get,
So give us, we need to call the different, hold on, we just need to call the different one. It's number two. We read number one.
that's the one, I thought he said we were doing first.
Yes, but this is not,
Right,
but he gave us the wrong.
right. So he's going to get
Okay.
it now, and then we can stick with number one.
You can, yeah, you can, sorry. Please.
Right. But it does say. Can you get him to? It does say seal. Okay.
Right. We will receive B50004135 miscellaneous electrical work. Port Mechanical Contractors, Inc. The bid price is $987,000 and 0 cents, yeah. This is for Port Mechanical Contractors, Inc. $987,000. The next one is Hawkeye Construction. Total bid price is $1,120,500. $1,120,500. The next one is Calmai Electrical Company. Total bid price is $1,210,800.
refer these bids to the Bureau of Purchases for tabulation and report.
Okay, the madam is so noted, and we would like to refer this. You have any more comments? Okay. What I'd like to do is to recall B50004117, conversion of microfilm and microfiche to digital format.
If you guys can, again, state your name. No, you don't need to.
I'm June Smith, and
Adrian
the company is Immediate System Resources Incorporated.
And again, if you could state the reason why you're here.
We intend or would like to submit a bid on the microfilm and microfiche conversion effort. So we brought our box down, we brought our folders down, our bound folders, and we thought we had followed all the instructions. And we went to 231 East Baltimore Street. We got there at 12 minutes to 11. We worked all night, and So Adrian went in and asked for the lady to whom the proposal was to be submitted. And when she came out, she said, "You've got 8 minutes to get it over to City Hall. I don't take them." So we raced over here. When we got here, the gentleman, I guess Glenn, told Adrian that it had to be in a sealed box. So she stayed here, and I was kind of freaking out because I thought we're going to lose all of our effort. But anyway, I went and got a box and came back. I called my attorney, Bob, and said, "What should we do? I mean, is there any recourse?" And he said, "Just go and explain to the board what happened." So that's why we're here, and ask for a receipt with exception or something like that.
Okay,
And so, okay, thank you.
so we will note their comments, and I would like to refer this to the law department for a final decision.
Thank you.
Should we leave? Second. Should we leave our document?
Just one moment, ma'am. The matter having been moved and seconded is referred to the law department for review. We will take the matter, we'll take the item from you and it'll be reviewed from the law department, so we can bring it up.
Thank you.
And again, this is in connection with,
Thank you.
B50004117.
And what I have here for the record is a box, sealed, from June B. Smith, President, Media Systems, or System Resources Incorporated. And it is approximately 12:27 p.m.
The next bidder is Tech Pro Solutions. Okay, the bid sheet reads, for item A, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at contracted site, $727,000. This is Tech Pro Solutions. $727,345.20. And for item B, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at Baltimore City site, $1,091,085.60. That's $1,091,085.60. The next bidder is Court Record and Data Management Services. Court Record and Data Management Services. For item A, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at contractor site is $169,256. $169,256. And item B, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at Baltimore City site is $249,576. That's $249,576. The next bidder is the Crawley Company. For item A, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at contractor site, the dollar amount is $209,661. $209,661. For item B, conversion of microfilm and microfiche at Baltimore City site, they did not bid on the second, on item B. This company did not bid on item B.
Refer these bids to the Bureau of Purchases for tabulation of the report.
B 5000413, provide food service for eating together in Baltimore program, the technical opening. Prices will not be read. The name is Overly Caterers. And that's it.
Refer this bid to the Bureau of Purchases for tabulation of the report.
Being no further bids, this meeting is now adjourned.